Hello everyone, welcome back. It's CoachFury here, and we are back today with the next episode of our Let's Play series of Draft Day Sports Pro Basketball 21 in a modern era this time, delving into seeing whether we can bring a championship to this Philadelphia 76ers team, and the likes of Ben Simmons and Embiid, whether that combination will be enough to bring a championship to Philadelphia. So today we're pretty much going to be doing a little bit of a let's get through some games kind of momentum really. We're going to sort of try and see if we can get ourselves through until about the start of December. And then we're probably going to watch, I think the game we're going to watch today, guys, is going to be the Brooklyn Nets game. A team that, for any of you who've just followed the NBA, have just seen that the blockbuster trade they've completed in current real life to bring in James Harden. Obviously, this Brooklyn Nets team is before probably any kind of patch that will bring that change into the game. So we still have to deal with the juggernaut that is Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. But I think in terms of our game and our focus here for this Let's Play, it's a good test for us because I expect this Brooklyn Nets team to be up there in the East and challenging for the Eastern Conference really. So that's the plan today. Obviously, we haven't made any major roster changes. We had our first win of the season last episode, where we had a bit of a back and forth with the Boston Celtics, I believe it was. Let's just have a little double check. In a bit of a game where we started off incredibly poorly, but we came through in, I think it was the third quarter, to kind of blow the Celtics out the water, really. So because of that, and because I think the Boston Celtics will be another top team in the East, and we managed to get a win there, we're not going to change the depth chart too much today, guys. We're going to keep it as is, which is Ben Simmons, our starting point guard, Curry and Milton as our sort of wing players and sort of guard. Then we've got our sort of stretch four really in Harris, and then obviously the man himself, Embiid, as our dominant centre. So we're going to go with that. We're going to try and get a bit of simming done through to the Brooklyn Nets game. We'll probably do a bit of a recap, see what the league looks like at that point, and we'll watch that game. So I'll just double check when the actual game is meant to be played against the Brooklyn Nets. I believe it's the 10th of December. So we will just sim through to that date. So through to the 10th of December. Obviously, we'll flag it so that if we get any injuries or anything, they obviously pop up when that happens. But actually, probably before we do that, we should have a little look at the draft because we didn't really touch on that too much last time. I've gone ahead and sort of put in the numbers. The way this game works is you essentially assign points to your scouting regions, which is quite a simple and effective way of doing it. As you can see down here, any basic scout report will be 25 points for that region, 50 points minimum to get play style. And you obviously get emails on the players throughout the season, really. I've had a little look at this draft, and it is pretty much an American-only draft. As you can see, there's the odd one European player, and then I think there's one guy from Argentina in here. So we're obviously going to be focusing purely on America, hence why all of our points are spent in the America regions, really. And one of the cool things about this new game that they've added as a new feature, which is great to see because it continues to mirror the real life NBA, is that you do get development players that actually go into the D League and play in there before they obviously enter the draft, similar to the options that high school players have now, is that they can go into the D League, the NBA D League, I think it's called the G League now, into the G League, play a season, earn some money, and then into the draft, rather than going the traditional route of playing in college and then declaring in college. So, I mean, there's not a lot to say about the draft itself because we don't have any knowledge. They haven't put up any stats. We have no idea. I mean, the ranks are all over the place. This is a rough thing at the minute. There hasn't been any shake-ups, but we'll try and keep an eye on that through the season just so we get a bit of a flavour of that. Right. Let's crack on and let's get some of these sim dates done. See how we get on with about a couple of months, a month and a bit or so to go. And we'll obviously stop on any action emails and we'll stop on any injuries because we'll have to do a bit of game tweaking as we go along. But hopefully not too many injuries and not too many action emails, and we can just have a little bit of a recap. So let's start. as you can see, what is really good about the game is obviously it flicks through the scores quite quickly, but you can see on the right hand side it does bring up, you know, your results, whether you win or lose. If there's any, you know, career milestones, you see there with Damian Lillard getting 15,000 career points, triple double there. Look at that, 2 triple doubles already from Doncic, and it sort of goes back and forth and paints you that sort of picture of narrative, even if you are quick simming like this in here. And you can, I think, in the league options, slow this down if you want. I think I've got this set on just the default, but you can chop and change it. As you can see, we are probably not doing as well as we anticipated here. We are pretty much a 0.500 team at the moment, back and forth with wins and losses, not really getting any momentum going. As we looks like we've struggled early on here in the season, but possibly bringing it back together here. But it looks like we've just picked up an injury. So let's take a little look. So we've got Milton out of a calf strain, Scott out for a day with a sprained toe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to store this lineup because I think that's probably our best lineup. And let's have a look. So we need someone to come in and play there. I'm probably going to say that's going to be Korkmaz. And then I think we'll just get Danny Green to pick up some of the remaining minutes. Probably want Korkmaz starting, then Danny Green coming in for a shift. Probably don't want him taking no small forward minutes. We probably want that to go to a Korkmaz. We probably will need to give Curry some additional minutes at shooting guard. So we'll probably do something like this. And then we'll probably get you in there, you in there. That gives you a bit of a rest. There, we'll have that. That gives him a rest. We've still got to assign you some minutes. So probably going to have you pick up those ones for. Let's just pick all those ones up for a minute, and let's just quickly recap. So Korkmaz, you can have that one. Obviously, we don't want Danny Green playing a full 42 minutes. He's going to be absolutely knackered. So we'll get you to pick up those ones, and those. Still don't really want you to play in that stretch. We'll probably go a little bit heavy on that, I think. In the power forward slot, I think we will just say, Harris, you just pick those up for a minute, and then I think what we will do is, for now, unfortunately, we'll just throw Howard in, and we'll probably just go to sort of a big lineup for a period of time. Really rely on those because I'm not overly confident at the fact of putting someone like Poirier in extended minutes. I mean, I'm not comfortable in playing him at all, to be honest with you. And then obviously you've got to come out the rotation. You've got to come out the rotation, and we will do something like that. So we'll sim probably just the 1 or 2 days that they're out. We lose that game. No surprise there, really. Our rotation is pretty shot at this point. We will go through that one, and I think after this day, I don't think we have any other games. Oh, no, we do. We get a nice 3-point win there against Toronto, and then we can probably go back in, and I'm guessing the injuries have all gone, and we can restore the lineup, thankfully. Put you back in at starting. Korkmaz in for Ferguson. Scott up for Poirier, and yeah, that will do, I think. And we can carry on. I get to say, one of the things that you can tweak quite a lot in this game is obviously the level of injuries you get. I've just got this on default, so like the real NBA, I guess it tries to mirror the simulation as much, where you get more of the minor injuries now, more, you know, people having an odd injury to rest for maybe back-to-backs and things. So you kind of get more of that realism. The downside, in my opinion, of that is that you are micromanaging a little bit more. So if you don't want that, you can obviously turn it down. But I'm trying to obviously accurately simulate as much as possible the NBA here. So, and look at that, our lineup is back in, and we win 2 straight there. But we immediately lose to Indiana at 12-8. And we pick up another injury, it looks like. Who is out now? Okay, so Milton is out again for 1 day with a twisted ankle. I'm sure he could play through that. Do you know what? I'm just gonna let Ferguson have a go for 1 day, for 1 game. Why not? Let's see what this guy can do. We will just put you in all of his minutes off the bench. You know, not expecting a lot. He's a 1.5 star player, But let's give him a go. Who have we got anyway? Who are we actually playing? We are playing the Jazz, who are 6-14. So hopefully we get a win, and we do. We pull out a nice 12-point win there, so we can quickly go back in, restore our lineup. Milton, in you come. Ferguson, out you go. How did he actually perform in that game? That's worth having a little look at. Not too bad. I mean, obviously hitting just 3-pointers. He's not really shooting anything else. But effective enough. I mean, not expecting huge amounts. Yeah, okay, he's not playing, but he can hit from range if we need him to. That's useful to know if we're thinking if we get any sort of long-term injury or anything. He could probably play 8 minutes a game, I would say. It looks like. So let's sim through to that 10th game and that Brooklyn game, because that's the one we all want to see for this episode, I think. And we get another win there against Washington. Our record has definitely picked up now. We started very slow this season, as we pick up another injury. Embiid is out, and oh, look at that! How unlucky is that? So we've got Embiid and Howard out for one game, basically. So we need to find someone who can take this. Do you know what? I'm just going to let the AI. You just give me a suggestion. Yeah, okay. So there's no surprise there that we have no centre. So it's pretty clear that that Poirier is just basically going to have to play 40 minutes. There's no way around it unless we can sign a free agent maybe in the centre position. That might be worth us looking at on a short-term deal. Let's have a quick look. I don't mind if he's a power forward actually. Let's have a look. Who have we got in here? Ryan Anderson. Okay. You're still around. Oh, Taco Fall, look at that. Do you know what? I'm just going to sign him. I think he could be, 7. You can't go wrong with 7'5" centre, can you? Even if we play outside of that, I'm going to sign him, and I'm going to sign him to a regular season deal. Look at that. We're only paying him 1.4 million. Oh, okay. We can't sign him because we have 15 players on our roster apparently. Okay, do we have a centre who's laying around in the D-League? That's the question. If we do, then we want to probably bring him back. Yeah, okay, so we do. We have Tony Bradley, we are going to bring back off the D-League. How's he been doing in the D-League, actually? He's not been playing at all in the D-League, so... Okay. We will recall you, Bradley, and I'm sure if I do this again, you will get some minutes. No, okay. Even though you are in the road here, you are not getting any minutes. I can't have Poirier playing 40 minutes, 48 minutes constantly, basically. So you are going to take up those minutes there, and let's say those minutes there, and you can come in there and play 16 minutes, 32. That's seems more reasonable to me. And who are we playing? We are playing the Cavaliers, the 8-13 Cavaliers. So, yeah, why not? We'll throw our D-League player in for some minutes and see if he can help us with this one. And we managed to get a nice 10-point win there. No surprise, the Cavaliers are a team that are completely at the bottom at the moment. How did he do? So, yeah, okay, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, couple of blocks. Not bad, 3 or 4. Yeah, that's fine. Poirier, you were a pretty hot mess on shooting. Yeah, okay. I think it's fair to say that if Howard and Embiid are completely lost in terms of injuries for us, we don't have the depth to really support that. So we will put this back to how it was. Bradley, we are going to send you back down to the D-League, my friend. Even though you're not playing there, I just don't need you, and hopefully maybe you'll get some minutes there. So let's get ourselves over to the 10th. We've only got a few more days. Hopefully we can avoid injuries until we get to that point. And we haven't. Who has suffered an injury now? Oh, Maxi, you've suffered an injury. I don't really care because you're in the D-League. You can stay there in the D-League and be injured. That's perfectly fine. You can continue developing there. I'm sure they've got the medical personnel who can help you with that. I'm only worried about our key guys in our rotation. As our record stretches to 19-8 now. We definitely had a slow start to this season. And here we are at the Brooklyn Nets game. Have we any injuries that we need to keep an eye on? Embiid, you're out. You're injured in the key game. Okay. Embiid, out you come. And Poirier's out as well. This series, we are having some rotten luck with centres. Bradley, welcome back. Welcome back to the starting rotation. Well, maybe not starting. I'll actually put you in as off the bench, I think. But welcome back. We'll fly you back in for this game. You will come in for Embiid, and clearly you are not taking Embiid's minutes. You are taking what was Dwight Howard's minutes, and Dwight Howard, you are going to be Embiid for us. That's a tough set of shoes to fill, I have to say, for a crucial game in two of the top Eastern teams. And yeah, so that's our lineup. Thankfully, we've got no other injuries to worry about at this point. I will just swap you around so that you are above in rotation. But here we are. Oh, the Brooklyn Nets are only 13-12. Blimey, I thought they'd be doing better than that. So let's dive in. Oh no, I've hit play game. Oh no, that's all right. Whew, I forgot. I thought for a minute there I didn't tick the button to actually watch the game. We're obviously going to do AI control. We'll let our coach do the rotation for us in the game. So here we are. We Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Milton, Harris, Howard against Irving, Dinwiddie, Harris, Durant, and Jordan. Really interesting matchup here in terms of Simmons against Irving. Completely different players in just size and capability, really. Different styles of play. And then Durant against Harris is going to be a fun one, because actually Harris's numbers look pretty consistent with Durant. So that's going to be fun to watch. And then two well-known veterans in Dwight Howard and DeAndre Jordan going head-to-head again in a different kind of matchup, really, for them. So let's dive into this game and watch this. Yep, cool. We are. Do I need to change the options, or did I? There we go. So play. So slow start here for both teams as Harris puts up the first set of numbers. First points for the game. And we'll try and speed it up a little bit. Obviously, get ourselves through to the half, and then we'll do a little bit of a recap. But I'm surprised the Nets have got such a poor record. I thought they would be, I thought they'd be similar to us in record, really, at this point in the season. Maybe they're struggling. Maybe the two-headed monster of Durant and Irving is not quite there, and maybe they don't have quite this level of support that they need. As this game, it looks like they've taken a little bit of a slim lead on us here in this first quarter. Hopefully we can continue to peg them back. I mean, that's one of the things that we've noticed in the last episode, is our team is historically quite slow in starting. I'm not sure why that is, but in the two games that we've watched, through in this 2D engine, we are notoriously slow starters. We seem to come back strong in the second half, though, particularly in the third quarter from what we've seen. But it looks like the Brooklyn Nets have taken quite a nice little lead here early on. As we get to the beginning of the second quarter here, 15-point gap at the moment. We are not hitting our shots at all. 4 of 12 from 3-point. They are 6 of 12. We've not really pressing them in terms of scoring either. They're shooting 56%, and they are comfortably blowing us out here at home. Their rebound numbers, look at that, 23 to our 11 as well. That is really not good for us in terms of just winning the basics on the court, really. I'm sure our shooting numbers won't be like this the whole game, but we are at the moment looking like this is a very, very difficult uphill battle for us. As Durant has already put up 21 points and Irving's already put up 23. So maybe their record doesn't necessarily reflect their ability at this moment in time. Maybe they just had an even slower start than we did, as they put up 83 in the first half against us, which is pretty incredible, actually. As it looks like we are struggling a little bit. Simmons is 6 of 14. We are obviously struggling a lot without Embiid. Harris has tried his best, but he's got into foul trouble, it looks like, and so has Curry. So they've had limited minutes, which has meant we've had to go quite deep down the bench. And to be honest with you, Korkmaz has been 0 of 5, which is just terrible. Yeah, we need a bit of a miracle in this one, I think, to come back from it. But we will watch it through. A good test for us actually against a team with 2 stars as well, 2-star players really in Durant and Irving. So I expect them to probably be in the playoff hunt. I mean, they're 12 and 13, I think they were. So even if they're a late seed, they're going to be a real dark horse for the championship. To be honest, if they perform like this against us, conscious obviously we're missing one of our star players, but not a very good game, not a very good performance from our end. Our shooting numbers are up a little bit now, but I think the gap is way too far at this point in time. Over 20 points. Harris has actually had a really good game though. 10 of 16, 21 points. He's probably been the one that sort of stood out for us in terms of still managing to put up good solid numbers and really helping on the offense. It looks like we've had some other issues all across the board on this one. Foul trouble. Obviously having to play Bradley's probably not helped. Yeah, not the best, not the strongest game from us. I don't see us coming back from this one. But I mean, to be frank, I mean, Durant and Irving. Outside of that, it looks like the Nets have not got a great deal. Outside of that, they are heavily reliant on those 2 guys. I mean, they are putting up most of the shots. Dinwiddie is kind of shooting a loss for them at the moment with 6 of 17. But it looks like as we go down the end here, this game is over. The bench is coming for us. I think we're going to have to accept this one as a loss, and we're going to have to move on from this one quite quickly. But a good statement game for the Nets actually, against a team that's well above them at the moment in the standings, showing that they do have the capability there when they actually want to turn it on. It looks like, as we are well and truly blown out in this one. 18-point loss. That is not very good. Look at that, shooting 39%. We're never going to win a game if we shoot like that. Harris, you were pretty good. To be fair, 12 of 20, 25 points. You are our primary scorer. Yeah, I mean Simmons, did a bit of everything, but minus 21 when you're on the court there. Obviously, your matchup, Irving had a fun game against you in terms of matchups. So that's something we'll have to keep an eye on if we do play them in the playoffs. It's obviously quite clear that Simmons' size, makes him a bit of a liability on defense against the smaller guards. So that's worth noting certainly. Curry, your shooting was actually pretty good. So maybe when we actually if we do play them in the playoffs, perhaps one of the great things about this game is you can change the matchups on defense. So perhaps we'll say to Simmons, don't go and mark Irving, go and mark someone like Harris or something, and then we'll put some smaller guards on Irving and see if that helps. But a pretty convincing loss in that one. Let's take a little look around the league, shall we, and see how everything is looking and panning out. We're not quite half, not quite. I think we're just over 28 games. We're probably just over a quarter of the way through the season here. But let's have a little look in terms of the conference. We are third in the conference at 19 and 9. Surprising that the Pacers are above us. Actually, they're had a really good season. Toronto are struggling at 10 and 15. That's a surprise for me. And the Heat as well, 11 and 15. A surprise. I mean, obviously, that I would have expected them to be better. They're more of a. I think they'd be a better team than that. I guess interesting that the Hawks are also sort of in there. I'm guessing that's mainly down to one man, if we can find him. In this, there he is, Trae Young. Let me guess, he's probably putting up godlike numbers, and he is. Yep, 32 points. Yeah, that probably explains why the Hawks are doing so well. Let's take a little look at the Western Conference. So that one is pretty much business as usual. I mean, the Rockets are 7 and 19. That is a surprise. Have they got any injuries to Harden or no? Harden is okay. Okay, that's interesting. They're obviously maybe Harden's kicking up a fuss like he did in real life, and refusing to play and maybe out of shape, etc., trying to demand a trade. Who knows? But yeah, the Clippers are on top. Lakers, Warriors, teams you kind of expect. The Suns are sort of surprise package in the NBA at the moment. The Nuggets, the Blazers, the Grizzlies, all teams I would expect to be around there. So that's not surprising. Let's take a little look at the league leaders, shall we? So in terms of points, Trae Young, as we just saw, 32 points a game is crazy. LeBron leading the assist, which is interesting. I like how they've over the past iterations of this game, they've definitely moved away from just point guards getting assists to other players who are good at assist making, getting numbers as well. So that's interesting that LeBron is leading that. That's quite a nice little stat. Capella leading rebounds a game. That's not surprising. Davis with blocks and Kawhi Leonard with steals. So yeah, not too much out of line, I would say, really. Ben Simmons is number 5 in assists. That's cool to see. Hopefully Embiid's up there with the rebounds. He is. Look at that, our man Bradley, who's played 2 games for us, is up there with 9.5. Nice to see that he's putting up some things, but obviously he's only played 2 games, so probably take that with a pinch of salt, really. Simmons is up there with the steals as well. Look at that, he's top 3 for steals. Let's take a little look at triple doubles. Who's got triple doubles? Ben Simmons with 5. Doncic has got 7 triple doubles. My goodness. Wow, that's a crazy good stat line from him. Wow, yeah, okay, he looks like a proper star, doesn't he? Good shooter, great passer, scorer, good defender. He has the bucket getter and the attacker stats as well. That's really interesting to see. Actually, one of the players I didn't see in terms of stats was Giannis. I thought he would be higher. Okay, so he's putting up good numbers. Interesting that his steals are quite low, but still solid numbers from him. And he's developed a bit of a 3-point game by the looks of it, particularly those corners threes. Look at that, 56% from those corners. Yeah. Okay, so I think we'll end the episode there. Obviously not a great deal in terms of progress, but certainly interesting. Good test for us against the Brooklyn Nets. We witnessed getting blown out there. It was disappointing, but I'm sure come playoff time we'll sort that out with matchups and maybe some rotation changes. But a slow start for us certainly in this season here. Started very slow, but we have definitely picked it up over the past. Not sure why the schedule's not showing in the past several games to bring us back to a 19-9 record. I'm pretty happy with that at this point in the season. I expect us to be a top 4 seed, and I expect us to be in the top 2 for our division, regardless of how strong and deep this division is. So good start for us. We'll obviously come back next time and carry on the progress and see how we get on towards the new year. But I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you are enjoying it, please feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell. As when these episodes come out, you can watch them straight when they hit the press, as they say. But yeah, we'll see if we can continue the journey with the Philadelphia 76ers next time.